Hello, welcome all. Today we are going to learn about how to create HTML form for getting data for the users, and after getting the data, the page will echo the entered data for the confirmation. To create a form, we have to create three things first, that is model. Model is used to represent the data entered by the user through the form. Second is action. Action is used to validate the entered data. And the third is view to display a HTML form or to render the HTML form. So in code section to create a model, we will go to the model folder. In model, we create a new file. We'll give name as the user station dot. Now we will create a model here. As you know, the models are used to represent the business logic and the rules, and we can declare the attributes here also. To start with the model, we will declare here namespace app slash models, then use ye, then use ye slash base slash models. This base model class is used to provide, or this base class is used to represent the data of the model. So let's start with the model. So to create a model, we define a class. Class we will give name as a user registration. Okay, extends model base class. In this section, you can declare your attributes and the logic and the rules of the forms. So here we declare two variables, public variable public. Suppose we will take name public. Second is we will take it email. So here we declare two public variables, name and email. That is, in our form there are two fields, name and email. After declaring these two variables, now we will define the rules for the form. Public function. Basically, rules are used to validate the user entry data, and it is returned in the form of array. So it will return the value, return array of the entered value. So we write here first value as name, second is for email, and we will write rule as it should not be empty, that is, it should be required, that means it should not remain empty. The second rule we will write for the email, that is email should be in email format. This is the default validation used in B to validate the email. Okay, and goes with the semicolon. So what we have done here, we have declared two variables, email and the name, and we have defined rules for the fields name and email should be required. That means it should not remain empty, and email should be in proper email format. Now we will go to the controller to create an action. So we will move to the controller folder. In controller folder, our default controller is the site controller. So in site controller, we will write the action here. Inside control, we will write the action method for our user registration form. So why action method is needed to validate the user entered data. We need to create an action for our form. So we will create a public function action. Action is register curly braces. In action, we have to create actions for our register model and our registration form. So first of all, we have to create an object for the registration form. To create an object, first we have to load our model. So for that, we will go to upsides and call our model here use app models, and our model name is user registration. Okay, so we can directly access now. So now we can directly access the properties of the user registration model. So we create the model object, model equal to new, name is user registration. See, you can see here it is by default it's coming. Now we put the if condition. If the user enter the correct data and data is validated correctly, then it should display the form data to the user directly, or else it will show the error message. So how to write this? We will put if condition, if model, okay, load dot in app request post. What we have written here, v app, this line, it represents the application instance which is globally accessible, and it is also a service locator that provides the components such as a request, response, or a database to support the specific functionality of the application. So here in our case, it is used to post, it is used to access the post data by the user. So what we have written, the app requests the post data. If the model loads the requested post data, and it is also a validated, that means we will call here validate function. I will repeat once again what we have written. If the model loads the requested post data, and if the requested data is validated correctly, then it should redirect us to the view page. So we will call here our view page return this under, suppose our view page name is register user. Okay, and we will pass the model here. Model or else it will redirect us to the same HTML form. Return this vendor same registration form model object, or else echo some error. So what we have done in action method, we have created a model object of the user registration. We put the if condition. If the model loads a requested post data and if data is validated correctly, then it should redirect us to the user registered view, that is, or else it will redirect us to the HTML form, or else it will be show some error. So now we will create these two views. First we will create a registration form view and then we will create the registered user. So to create a registration form view, we will go to the view section. In view, go to the site. Inside, we will create a view. What is the name of your view? Is registration form dot php. Okay, here we will create a form. So how to create a form? PHP views me helpers, HTML helpers we are using. Okay. Second, use we get active form which is used to create an HTML form. Okay. Now to create a form, we will equal form. We create an object form was active form data form. Semicolon. Then we will equal each field. Dollar form field name is to define a field. First we have to call the model object. So model, then the name of the field. First name is first is name, same for the email. Okay. We have created two fields. Now we have to create a button to submit the form. Okay. So what we'll do is create a div class form to make a of the fields and to submit a submit button. So echo HTML submit button into text on the class. Which button you want? Button class TN, TN primary. So we have created submit button, put a text, button text will submit, post the code tag here, okay, close the here with tag and the end form. Active form. Okay, what we have done here, we created a form. Active form begin in and in between we create a form field, name, email and the submit button. Okay, this is our registration form view. From here you can put the values in the form. The second we have view you mention here is a registered user. That means registered, when a user put data to this form, it will validate it, and after validation it will show us on the screen. So for that we have to create the another view, user registrations in same view folder, in view inside create another view, new file, register user dot php. So here we simply put in the message. So php same me help us HTML, then we write some text and the following information. Use the paragraph tag. Now we have to retrieve the values. So we will put in some balance listed, put the line tag in that to retrieve the value of label, retrieve the value of name field, to put a label, name, okay. In that we have to write the HTML code to equal the field value. HTML encode model and the name, that is name. Close the li tag. Okay. We can do same for the email. Email into define email. Okay. So what we have done here, In registered user view, we created a view. In this view, we simply printing a message. You have entered the following information. In that, we are getting encoding value from the form and display to the user. So let's check to the browser whether we are getting correct registration form or user data or not. So when we are moving to the browser, in last video we learned about the In last video, we learned about the pretty URL. In pretty URL, we have mentioned some rules for the URL, how to create a URL. So in that, we have mentioned one rule that action, when we see an action, any action, we redirect to the directly. The URL will be redirected directly to the action. So in that case, today we have created action for our user form. So what is our action name is? Action register. So what we'll do, we directly write action name here, register, so after writing the two views, user registration form and the registered user, we will go to the browser to check the form. So for that, we will go to the browser. In previous video, we will learn about the pretty URL. In that, we have mentioned one rule that will, whenever we see an action in the URL, it will redirect us directly to the specific URL. So in our today's case, we have written the action name as for the registration pages, register action. So what we'll do, we'll directly put the action name in the URL 080 slash, it should be in small letter, enter, and see, you can see our form, HTML form, that we have mentioned two fields, name and email, and the submit button. This form is created by this registration form view. Okay, so what we'll do now, we will put some value here, suppose XYZ, and write some email XYZ at the rate Yahoo or XYZ and the rate XYZ.com. Okay, now we will submit it and it will redirect to the another view page, that is we have created register user to display the user enter information through the form. So we can get you have entered the following information: name is XYZ, email is XYZ at the rate XYZ.com. Okay. So if we miss something here or we did not put name here, so to check the validation working or not, we will go to the submit button. It shows the message name cannot be blank. It shows because of our validation rule in the model that it should the name field should be required. Similarly for the email also, if this field is also empty, it also shows the message email cannot be blank. See the validation working here properly for this rule. So we will check for the email. So some value ABC, okay, and email we will write only suppose anything, and we submit. Email should is not a valid email address. So second validation is also working here for the email field for this rule. So this is how you can create a form. Com. Now we will submit the form. You can get the user entered value, name is ABC, email is msd.abc. So this is how you can get your registration form. You can create a HTML form in e-application, submit it through the submit button and make a validation also. In next video we will learn about the database connection. Thank you.